If a person eats or drinks intentionally during the day in Ramadan, there is a consensus among scholars that their fast is invalidated. This is a point of agreement. However, is expiation required or not? Expiation means freeing a slave or fasting for 2 consecutive months. If one is unable to fast for 2 consecutive months, they must feed 60 needy people. Is this obligatory, or is it only necessary to make up the fast? There is a disagreement among scholars. Hanafi and Maliki scholars say if someone breaks their fast by eating or drinking, they must make up the fast and perform expiation. If a person violates the sanctity of the day by engaging in sexual intercourse, expiation is required. Similarly, if they eat or drink intentionally, expiation is also required. However, Hanafi scholars state expiation is only required if the person intended to fast from the night before and then broke it during Ramadan. If they woke up without intending to fast and then ate or drank, they only need to make up the fast, not expiation. Scholars agree that breaking sanctity through intercourse needs expiation. The same goes for eating or drinking. Per Maliki and Hanafi views, Hanafi scholars say expiation is needed only if fasting was intended overnight and broken during Ramadan. Without prior fasting intention, just making up the fast is required, not expiation. Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Dahiri say eating or drinking only needs making up the fast, not expiation. However, the Hanafi scholars said that expiation is only required if the person intended to fast from the night before and then broke their fast during the day of Ramadan. If they woke up on Ramadan without any intention to fast at all, meaning they didn't want to fast at all, and then they intentionally ate or drank, then they only need to make up the fast and expiation is not required. This is the first opinion. The second opinion is the opinion of the Shafi'is, Hanbalis, and Zahiris. They said that whoever eats or drinks intentionally must only make up for it without expiation, because the ruling on sexual intercourse does not extend to eating and drinking. Expiation is required for the group. The obligation of expiation was mentioned in the text for the group. If expiation were needed for eating and drinking, it would rely on analogy, which is not applicable here. Expiation must be explicitly stated by the Prophet, peace be upon him. Yes, expiations are based on explicit texts, not analogy. The disagreement among scholars is whether eating and drinking can be analogized to sexual intercourse. The Maliki school applies it to sexual intercourse, while the Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Dahiri schools state expiation is specific to sexual intercourse and not to eating and drinking. This is the correct view, and Allah knows best. This opinion is correct because expiations are not derived from analogy but from explicit texts, and there is no text regarding eating and drinking. Therefore, one must only make up the fast without expiation. The reason for the disagreement among scholars is whether eating and drinking can be analogized to sexual intercourse or not. The Maliki school applies expiation specifically to sexual intercourse, while the Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Dahiri schools state that expiation is exclusive to sexual intercourse and cannot be analogized to eating and drinking. This is the correct view, and Allah the Most High knows best.